Greetings and welcome to the 10th Bobzee Hour. We will get going in just a minute. Apologies for the delay to the start of the stream. What are we looking at tonight? What subjects will we be covering? Rubber masks is definitely going to get a mention tonight, as will, you know, we're going to look at an Instagram account of a celebrity whose baby isn't quite what it seems, and we'll also be suggesting why the mainstream press are presenting us a very deliberate comparison between the luxury being spent on an upcoming event in just over a week's time, the coronation of the king, compared to other members of the United Kingdom who live in absolute poverty, and why are these stories being reported right next to each other. That is a subject we're going to touch on. Let's see. We're gonna take a look at the rules of the show. Some things I try and make a point of always looking out for in the footage that we watch particularly, but as well as in the written text as well. There seems to be a very deliberate language, I would say, being written, which let's first of all bring up what we're looking for. Signs of a lie. Tonight we will be we need to watch for the person presenting the story, presenting their witness accounts or testimony of motherhood or parenthood. We're going to look for them omitting personal pronouns, so dropping I did this. Also look out for terms like pretty sure, must have done this. Anyone who covers their mouth or distracts your attention with fidgeting hands when they're talking, again, could be a sign that we're not listening to people who are being completely honest. And abrupt changes of topic are often used to move away from a lie. Too much insignificant detail. This is something I've come across in a lot of these stories, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again tonight. And finally, well, not finally, there's plenty more. If you've got any, if there's any clues that you think give away someone not being honest as they talk, then leave them in the live chat. On that note, I'd like to say hello to Jeff Gashead. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Right, what is the story we're going to cover? I mentioned rubber masks, actually. So I saw a video Russian vids put out, or They Live Truth, of, I thought it was a perfect example of what clearly seems to be the situation. Let's bring up They Live Truth's video. Oh, bear with me. Not quite ready to show that. The other topics for the night. Apologies being a bit late starting tonight. I did schedule for 7 p.m. The idea being that I know, particularly I suggested doing an open lines episode again where I invite people to come on, but people have said 10 p.m. is just too late, so I do try and do this stream, particularly for people who don't tune in as late as 10 p.m, which generally seems to be the time that I put out my live streams. Right, where are we? Bear with me a second. Right, I'll show you the video I saw. It is of President Biden. And I'm not going to completely plagiarize the video. I will certainly leave a link to it if you want to see it for yourself. In the live chat. Alright, I'll put that in 1 second. Right, I'll mute it actually. As I say, I'm not going to nab Russian Vids' work. Right. Yeah, he shows Mr. Biden scratching the back of his neck. I hope. And the skin, the flesh just seems to ripple like a plastic doll. I don't know, that doesn't look right. Yeah, well spotted, Russian Vids. Oh, greetings to DJ Carrera, good to see you in the chat. Mentions Tucker Carlson's speech on Twitter. Right, Tucker Carlson, again, that's a name I have heard of, but I would have to look them up actually. Yeah, a bit of insight. Who is Tucker Carlson? Excuse my ignorance. It's if that is a name you're very, if you're familiar with, being in the United Kingdom. I've not heard of that one. So we'll certainly have a look before we move on. Yeah, I was going to put a link to that in the live chat a second. Yeah, as I said, in the past, I've said about doing open lines again. By sheer coincidence, the open line episodes seem to be the ones where they end up deleting it after a while. Right, they live video. Of course, I'll put a link to this in the description of the video as well. If you've not got access to the live chat, I certainly recommend checking out They Live's channel. Okay, I'll look up Tucker Carlson on Twitter then. We'll start with that one, and then as we go on in the stream, we'll cover the coronation. Oh, Tucker, right, I see who he is, and he's one of them all over it. If you get me drift, excuse my, very vague terms, saying one of them, could be anyone, but just one of the people you see always get coverage. Okay, thank you for the suggestion, by the way, DJ Carrera. Oh, the guy got fired for talking about something or other. Funny it mentions network ratings. I would guess any story where a mainstream newsreader gets fired would probably be for ratings. How much attention does, as I said, I've never heard of the guy before, don't know who Tucker Carlson is, but whoever he is, he's getting talked about by the New York Times. Yeah, one of the voices that fills their narrative, I guess. Text messages from Dominion Voting, bombshell defamation lawsuit against Fox News. Vulgar and offensive barbs from fired Fox personalities against his now former colleagues. Okay, yeah, in this part of the world I have not heard of this particular one. The statements follow allegations of a culture of sexism, systematic harassment. I can imagine working for this organisation. These sorts of organisations wouldn't be any fun. On the one hand, speaking of, I've never wanted to be a journalist, to be honest. Never something that's particularly appealed to me. But those that do, I guess, being on NBC or having the Tucker Carlson Tonight mainstream program is the pinnacle of someone's career, but the way these people appear to me, they're not even human, surely. Right, we'll watch the video. We'll give Fox News, we'll give the Independent my attention for 1 minute.
One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are. They're completely irrelevant.
I do not watch their debates, actually. Yeah, Fox News, I wouldn't trust too much. So he made a defiant, conspiracy-driven video. Okay, I guess you could suggest some of my content is conspiracy-driven video. I wonder if he mentions the same kind of subjects. Who knows? I don't know anything about the guy. Perhaps he has done. Greetings to NR in the live chat. Good to see ya. DJ says he's been a reporter for decades. Rupert Murdoch obviously wasn't liking his truth dropping. Yeah, I haven't heard any of them. Although my personal opinion is any truth that gets reported about by the types of organisations that we see talked about here, I wouldn't trust a word they say. Personally, Fox get their numbers in, obviously. But yeah, they're not actually saying what any of his claims were. How long is the video? Let's see. 2 minutes 15. Okay, well, yeah, I don't like just to steal a video, but I've not heard him make any claims at the moment. He's always said is that debates on TV are rubbish. If this is what he got sacked for, it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, we'll give him a couple more minutes.
They mean nothing. In 5 years, we won't even remember that we had them. Trust me, as someone who's participated. And yet at the same time, and this is the amazing thing, the undeniably big topics, the ones that will define our future, get virtually no discussion at all. War, civil liberties, emerging science, demographic change, corporate power, natural resources. When was the last time you heard a legitimate debate about any of those issues? It's been...
Yeah, these things go on all the time, I think. Well, they're not necessarily reported on the news, but they take place on platforms such as Twitter, something I do use but have become increasingly kind of disgusted by over the last couple of weeks. These platforms, okay, I still wouldn't call anything he said yet particularly conspiracy driven, but maybe it is.
In a long time. Debates like that are not permitted in American media. Both political parties and their donors have reached consensus on what benefits them, and they actively collude to shut down any conversation about it. Suddenly, the United States looks very much like a one-party state. That's a depressing reality.
It's a one-party world, I think. One-party state is a massive understatement. It would appear every country, major country seems to be going along the same lines. They all seem to be presenting the same kind of front, as it were. I don't see any genuine conflict myself. They all seem to be displaying the same allegiances in, frequently making their allegiance to whatever it is that writes the script for this rubbish. Every single one of them appears to, or they seem to be a series of lookalikes and body doubles, which of course, world leaders use all over the place. Right, carry on, Carlson.
Realization, but it's not permanent. Our current orthodoxies won't last. They're brain dead. Nobody actually believes them. Hardly anyone's life is improved by them.
Yeah, fair play to this guy, you know, for what he says. I'm not convinced this is... Yeah, he's not particularly going off the mainstream narrative with anything. Talking about wars and... they are constantly asking for... I believe they're constantly claiming that they're running out of weapons and stuff. Just spending ridiculous amounts of money off the back of these people. Rupert Murdoch, let's have a look at him. Will he have all the usual strange characteristics? Remember what it is? Strange ears. Always got freaky ears. Apparent rubber faces, just like we see with Joe Biden. I bet if this guy ran his fingers along his face, it would wrinkle in the same sort of way. Yeah, I believe at one point, the last time he came to the United Kingdom... Oh, hang on. That's the picture we want. That one. You know, if you don't see some kind of demonic entity, maybe, looking back at you, then I would be surprised. But who knows what? They actually are. Apparently, again, on exactly the same subject, as the same kind of people. Big story coming up soon is coronation insult as China sends architect of Hong Kong oppression as guest. They've changed the story on this. Originally, the people that have come into this coronation are picked. So, if some oppressive dictator from Hong Kong is coming to the coronation, then you can be pretty sure their name will be on the guest list. They will be pledging their allegiance. And they will be... who knows what they'll be. They take on human form, that is one thing I think you could say. But what really drives their kind of personalities, and who knows? No idea. Yeah, as I said in the intro, it's interesting. I've seen headlines constantly talking about how much money's being spent on this event, how big a deal it will be, that they'll be putting a crown on this guy's head, like tons of money spent on the process. And meanwhile, the very next story they'll be reporting is about let's see what is on the BBC News headlines. Let's see if they do it. There'll be talk of the coronation, I'm guessing, followed by talk of poverty, that is, and of course talk of people dying. Jerry Springer. He is the United Kingdom's answer to Jeremy Kyle, I believe. They are pretty much one and the same character. All these shows were clearly scripted, I would say. They were the start of reality TV being played out by actors. But yeah, apparently Jerry Springer is no longer with us. Let's see. Right, why do I feel the urge to check the numerology calculator? I've not done this before, but... I've never not checked Jerry's name before. Let's see. Okay, 52-29. Again, yeah, numbers seem to pepper these stories. Although I didn't... Jerry Springer's name isn't either a 36 or a 33 or 23, but... Right, where's talk of the coronation? It must come up in a minute. Okay. Not seen that. Oh, what was that story I did see involving the royals, however? In the lead up to the coronation, we're constantly hearing about Harry and Meghan. Right, where's that story? Let me find it. Bear with me. Right, we will be displaying that in a second. DJ mentions Paul O'Grady, like Jerry Springer, also died very suddenly. Yeah, everyone seems to be in that situation. Right, yeah. Apologies, bear with me while I just open a link. It is... Did you know that there is apparently an agreement in place? Where is it? The press have... Okay. Right, I'll bring it back up. By all accounts, according to Prince Harry, there is an agreement in place between Parliament... Right, Harry alleges secret agreements between newsgroup newspapers and the palace. Wonder what kind of agreements these two outlets would need to make. Such as, I don't know, what if someone from newsgroup newspapers were to find out that the, like, one of the babies that Prince Harry presents to us as being their child is actually just a series of CGI. What other agreements might they make? Someone might walk in on Meghan Markle, for example, in the toilet and realise she is in the wrong toilet. She should be in the men's. Right, are they not going to let us read it? There is a crack for this. I don't know if you call it crack, a hack telegraph. If you go to archive.is, I think it is, you can unlock the whole story. One of them takes you, if you get it wrong, it goes to some, archive.is, okay. Yeah, apparently not every time, but frequently, whenever you see this guy talked about in the news, they're always talking about how inconsistent his story is. The book, I guarantee they'll mention his book in this news story. Every report about Harry seems to mention his book, or just kind of like it's a big advert. A High Court judge raised concerns over the inconsistencies in the Duke of Sussex... Oh my goodness, we've been taken over by an advert. Yes, so by all accounts, Harry is bringing a claim against newsgroup newspapers, someone that Buckingham Palace already has an agreement with. Yeah, apparently it took Harry too long to make the claim. Do you think these people are really going to court on these cases? I don't believe it. When the very existence of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle exists, played out in front of cameras, I don't think you take them to court. I do not believe it works like that. The press, who these people are apparently suing, are kind of, like the mouthpiece, you can almost say. On the point of that story, actually, with it talks about riots that went on in China and how the person that is supposedly being invited to the coronation is oppressed any democratic demonstrations that they took place. I do find the hypocrisy in these kind of news stories unbelievable. When let me find the piece I was looking for again. At 69, have to squeeze that number in. Mr. Han was in charge of China's response to the demonstrations in Hong Kong, in which thousands of campaigners were arrested, many injured, and some were shot and killed. Do you think we are going to see some footage? Do you think it will be any different to the footage you see that took place and was heavily reported here in the United Kingdom and in the United States, in France, I believe Australia, all countries demonstrating against oppressive kind of behaviour? So absolutely no different. MPs branded the decision disrespectful and outrageous over his role in quashing the 2019 protests. Remember, 1 year later, after 2019, it wasn't only protests that were quashed, it was every activity most people kind of thought reasonable to do. All of them were quashed, and for the best part of 2 years we were told can't go to schools, can't go to a church, to a place of worship, you can't use the local park, you can't go to the beach, you can't do anything, literally stay in your homes. That was as oppressive as it got here. Oh, but don't forget, every week on a Thursday night or whatever it was, come out your doors and applaud and make you feel like, and try and convince yourselves you're doing good, when actually you're just being locked away, unfortunately. Right, let's see, can I zoom in anymore? Something about an appalling old waxwork. Interesting choice of interesting choice of words, as many of these people at one time or another probably have had waxworks made of them. If you go to Madame Tussauds, you do see they do a demonstration of how lifelike they can make a lump of what is it they use? Wax. And yeah, it's incredible. Right, the Prince of Wales declined an invitation to the Olympics because of campaigners about Tibet. Okay, but Britain still invited a representative. Why, the kings of the world all come into one place. I would imagine all of them would probably be stand-ins, lookalikes. I doubt. Who knows? I bet plenty of rubber masks and prosthetics will be getting used the days leading up to the coronation. Although who knows, perhaps it's all been filmed in advance, perhaps it's all already done. We'll see. Who knows, or perhaps there will be some sort of ceremony in London. I certainly won't be going anywhere near it, I can guarantee it. I'm guessing it's going to take place on a Saturday, which is, of course, the Sabbath day. You don't break that. And yet I believe they will be doing this exactly that on the day the king puts a crown on his head. Totally disrespectful. And shows a complete ignorance of, the basic 10 Commandments. But all that goes out the window when the head of every country in the world comes to London. Let's have a look. Let's see if we see the usual colour coding. The majority, if we see a big group of protesters. The majority will be wearing black or white, and there'll be one person in a bright red top, or maybe two. You know, you'll see lots of black, white, and red. Let's have a look. The reason for that choice of... Why isn't this playing? Oh, that's unfortunate. Hong Kong protesters. Let's have a look. We'll do a search for that. Right, I imagine it was probably this one. Certainly lots of press, lots of these coloured jackets. How did all these people arrange, all these reporters, just happen to have something catch fire right in front of them? What a strange coincidence. Meanwhile, there's a big, you know, space around it. Yeah, this looks like an organised bonfire to me. Who was allowed to start that fire? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. There is a... Basically, it seems to be a colour coding. You've got the very brightly lit people in these fluorescent jackets. And otherwise you've got the people dressed in blue. That is, they're obviously, rather than using red colours, which they seem to in this country, they use blue, and they're the directors. Although nothing much going on in that footage except for, yeah, what is probably an organised fire going on. Greetings to Midnight Scribbler, good to see you in the live chat. I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like, is this their House of Commons? We're invaded by people holding up a plaques. Who knows what this says? It makes it illegal to insult or abuse the Chinese national anthem. So that's what these people are protesting about, against the change in law. Probably something straight out of a scene of of a, you know, a TV show. That's how it kind of looks to me. Look at all these neat desks. This is where protesters have supposedly invaded. Who knows? But every single desk perfectly kept with pages, almost as if deliberately just put down. Okay, you've got a couple of messed up pages here. Oh no, it's a jacket, I think. But yeah, that looks like a set to me. Who knows? Possibly a green screen. Okay, yeah, I would guess. It looks like organised chaos to me. It does look chaotic, but there does seem to be an, you know, or certainly an order to it. He's not actually struggling, is he? I mean, he's happily being taken away. Someone kicks a shopping bag around. so outraged at whatever's taking place here. Box of sand or a bag of sand. A bottle of sand, actually. I wonder what their intentions were with that. Jeff says something's not allowed in your front garden. Okay, I can honestly say I've never been to like a rally such as this. Oh. Right, wanna keep up with the live chat? Jeff says, to the salt mines, is that what they do now? Is that the punishment for these people? Yeah, but where are the protesters though? In this actual image, all you see is people in the correctly coloured clothing. I would say again, this is a closed set. They've shut the street off for this particular piece of footage. Who knows? I would assume it's taking place on a real street, but even that isn't beyond them. But obviously I imagine, yeah. Anyway, a public fire. Okay, yeah. So, the outrage at the images that we're looking at here are the reason that people are so opposed to the person that Prince Charles wants to invite to the coronation. Oh, that's a different one, yep. No. Right, these stories by the Telegraph are seriously long. And then they go on to mention Sinn Féin, who will attend. Okay. Yeah, when does it actually take place? I am going to have a look. I probably had a look at this plenty of times. I bet it would be a significant date number-wise. When is King's... I bet it'll be at 3 PM as well. They always do it at 3 PM. Saturday, yep. The 6th of May. Okay, starts at 11 o'clock. Yeah, slap bang in the middle of what should be a day of complete rest. Not elevating one person above everyone else. Oh, we've looked at all these images before. They are kind of sickening. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't do a watch-along on the Sabbath day, no way. I would certainly will visit it, though, the following Sunday. Or maybe not. Perhaps it'll be the sort of thing that is just constantly being... I don't know, if you started seeing Union Jacks going up, this is quite every so often. There seems to be one reason or another why we should have Union Jacks put up. Jeff mentions, yeah, in terms of Sinn Féin and the names that, what's been directed at these people in the past, the name of terrorists. Although now I think terrorists are a lot more individual. You get like Yeah, they seem to be crazy loners now. If ever you hear of a terrorist, like Salman Abedi, for example, who committed the attacks in Manchester on the 22nd of April or May. When was that? 2017. So yeah, that would be 6 years ago now. The Diamond again. Get their numbers in. As Diamond is, of course, a significant one for numerology. Yeah, not something I speak myself. I don't share their knowledge of numbers, but I can certainly see they're using it. How can I watch it? It will be plastered everywhere. You will not be able to get away from it. I don't think it would be just as easy as not switching on your, just turn the TV off, don't want to see it. I think it'll be one of these occasions where people come out in the streets and applaud. We'll see. I don't know. I think we'll see madness at this occasion. I 100% will not be involving myself at that time of day. Sabbath day overrides everything as far as I'm concerned. Will not be shaken on that at the moment. Yeah, sorry, I still didn't confirm when it was. Right. The 6th, which is, let me have a look. A week Saturday then. Okay. So in the build up to it, we get to see these very strange individuals. Hang on. Is that not exactly the same image we saw when he was at... Oh, what was the one I saw earlier? No, not that one. Yeah, in one shot he was on the set of... What was it? Let me see. Charles at Eurovision. Either that or they've just started putting these people on the set. And they look absolutely identical. The posing that I saw. I'm sure he was doing the same thing. Yeah, here we go. Okay, look at the hand gesture. And where's that other one? I don't know, it just looked so identical. Okay, maybe not. Not quite. In this, he's only got one hand up. They certainly like their blue, don't they? I think they are both wearing the same clothes. Hang on. I like how they had the whole stage and set completely cleared for these people. If you think normally if you're backstage on a production like Eurovision, then there will be crew members, people running around all over the place. They would have to, I would have thought the only way they would have had it empty. Anyway. Yeah, they weren't there when it was going on, I would say. Probably either right at the beginning or right at the end. Yeah, maybe slightly different coloured shirt, but otherwise very similar. Right, we're going up. Yeah, so seeing something like this, as we pointed out earlier from the channel Russian Vids, just kind of looks... Oh, it's not Russian Vids, They Live Truth. It just... Oh yeah, and then he... suggesting it's a mask the guy's wearing, and then he follows up with a video of a woman saying how the CIA admit to using masks. Definitely worth watching that video. I have put a comment in the live chat and it will be in the description of tonight's video. Right, Nelson. Yeah, mentioning Nelson Mandela. Let's have a look. An advert for the Mandela Effect. Brilliant. Yeah, on. See again, are we looking at rubber masks? Oh, didn't mean to go to videos. Yeah, if you look at that face. Do you think it would kind of wrinkle in the same way as all these people we've seen? I don't know. Doesn't look particularly human to me. The skin. And let's see him talk. Yeah, does anyone remember
New York for a town meeting.
Does anyone remember Nelson Mandela dying? Because earlier than this Mandela Effect, that is, the effect is named after. Yeah, I don't know anyone with that recollection, but maybe it's a common one. Very popular, absolutely celebrated. You could probably find footage of lots of world leaders entering a room to such applause. I'm sure he's no different. Kind of looks kind of feminine. I don't know if you... Very round sort of head. Yes, and due to serving time in prison, by all accounts, he became an absolute celebrity. Okay, this is an hour 13-minute video. I'm certainly not going to watch all of this, but I will put a link to it in the description. As we've used their footage. Okay, before we go, what have we got? About 10 minutes left. I did see something about a Big Brother person. Someone from Big Brother, and it just had a recycling of the Jade Goody story, where they showed they showed a reality TV personality being seriously ill. She's been moved to ICU as she recovers from a brain surgery, and her mother's updated her followers on her daughter's account. On her daughter's health. She was rushed to hospital. I bet they got all of it on Instagram though. I agree, this image is horrible, but it doesn't look real. I can't believe anyone would let images of themselves in such a situation be used like this. You wouldn't put that on Instagram, that's what I'm saying, would you? Somebody in a seriously ill state, you don't put... I bet Lauren Harris, whoever this person is, I bet their images were put on their Instagram account. Yeah. Oh, on her Twitter, sorry, as well. I bet it's on Instagram as well. Lauren Harris. Let's see. Insta. Another celebrity unwell person. Okay, maybe they don't have one. That would make a change. But they've certainly got a Twitter account. And okay, I don't actually know who this is. Is this the same person? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, this has fake rubbish written all over it again. They include their favourite water bottle. They include an orange. Of course, orange being of it having a numerical value. And they present us someone ill in a hospital bed, or so it would seem. What other rubbish have they promoted over the years? I guess this is a TV personality, is it? I'm not... Oh, trans people were an enigma, right? Okay, I have no idea who this is, but it would appear they're a transgender, is that what they're saying? Doctors couldn't help me, trans people were an enigma. Who knows? Just... I don't actually know who that is, but okay. Fair enough, they make the news. Actually, it kind of looks like there was this kid a long time ago. Oh, I don't know. Right. Another horrible story to look out for. Yeah, there's a couple of people talking about their pregnancy, and you just think, you must be joking. This person actually gave birth? Okay, we're not getting any music, any actual lyrics. What do you think? Real baby? I'm not so sure. But, of course, they always put it on Instagram. Yeah, she's, of course, got those weird sticky out ears. We do see them everywhere. I'm sure we can all see it. There is no way that this person is capable of giving birth. Whoever it is are linked with Bruce Willis then, I guess. Rumour Willis. Okay, Rumour Willis. I guess that's... Let's have a look at their Insta account. We'll just have one quick look at that before we finish tonight. Oh, I can't spell. Right, 1.1 million followers. I'm going to hazard a guess. This is just another one. Yeah, typical. Pregnant women do not generally have, pose for photo shoots, except for when they've got great big jaws. Every celebrity that gets pregnant seems to want to do one of these photo shoots. Weirdest thing you've ever seen. And they give over their supposedly public Instagram accounts to... Look at the ears, come on. They always look like this. They always have that horrible... Okay. I won't be evil about... If your ears look like that, then fair enough, but... it is just always a strange coincidence how many celebrities end up looking like this. Oh, I thought we were going to see... Right. Yeah, I imagine we can all see... Okay. Rumour Willis supposedly had a baby. I'm going to say probably not. No doubt they will have shared a video. Right, standing on one leg, do you think we'll see her doing? Or some ridiculous exercises? Oh, having trouble. Okay. I just wanted to see the fake moon bump, but it doesn't look like they're going to show it. No, they don't want us to watch their video. I actually posted on Instagram earlier, which is something I never do normally. Yeah, I put up a little promo for tonight's stream. But as I don't really use Instagram, I've only got like 2 or 3 followers, if that. Yeah, 3 followers. And in all the months I've had it, I've only put about 6 or 7 pictures on there. However, if you do use Instagram, there is a link to where you can follow me. And I'll just put it in the live chat before we finish, which we are going to do any minute. Right. Okay. Yes, it's gonna time for us to kind of start winding down in a sec. Before we do, let's bring up... Right, we didn't see... Well, if we saw it, I missed it. We didn't see too much people, lying. All we really saw were... Yeah, so we haven't had any examples of signs of lies that we've come across today, but I'm sure we will in future streams, depending on the subjects that we touch upon. Yeah, I do often find a lot of the stories are what I would call a dust settler. So let the dust settle on them for a bit. But I do often come across suggestions in the live chat of things that become, pretty massive stories. Right, when are we back? It will be, Thursday today. Day of rest starts tomorrow, this time tomorrow. It will be sundown, Sabbath day begins, and I would certainly look into that. But wonderful lifestyle, in my opinion, is living your life according to that set of days. It's just incredible. You miss out on all the crap, you really do. I do find any places that blatantly disregard the day of rest to be absolutely toxic. They are toxic environments, the people in them. It's not somewhere I ever want to enjoy finding myself. Obviously, I've done it in the past, but going around shopping centres now on a Saturday afternoon would be the worst thing I could possibly do now. And I'm grateful to have bowed out of that kind of activity. Right. Yeah, the plan is, obviously I was about 15 minutes late starting tonight, so these times are only a guidance, actually. I'll probably change them. Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays are more daytime ones. One of which I want to, as I said earlier, do a open lines where I invite people to come and say hello. The situation with that is I have to use the platform StreamYard, because it's just easy to give people a link and they can just join and I can live stream it. However, it means that I have to dedicate the whole show to it, because StreamYard is pretty terrible in my opinion, and I wouldn't by choice use it. But unless people were actually gonna join me on there, I wouldn't want to set up a stream based on it. However, I do remember people saying if I streamed a bit earlier, they would be able to take part in an open lines. So who knows, maybe one of my midweek streams will be one. We'll have to see. I mean, I've done 10 Bobzee hours now, so whether I'll give it... I'll try and keep streaming on Thursday evenings. If not, I'll certainly be putting content out in one way or another. Yes, okay, I would like to extend a big thanks to Jeff Gashead, Midnight Scribbler, and DJ Carrera for taking the time to comment in the live chat. It is much appreciated. If you do want to show some appreciation to this video and you like what you've seen, you are welcome to hit the thumbs up button, and subscribing and sharing on social media are all much appreciated. If you want to take it one step further and come and check me out over on patreon.com/bzones, there is a link in the description. I always invite you to come over there, where I am grateful to say Midnight Scribbler and Linda Mack do follow me, and I'd like to show my appreciation to them. You get access to my expert knowledge, or at least opinions, and I share my, always happy to share tips and advice on creating your own content. Let's see. And also I do put content up on there first. I try to. I mean, lately I've been just mainly putting out either live streams or short videos, which are just less than a minute long. So it's either these hour-long streams or just very short ones. But any pre-edited stuff I do, pre-recorded footage I do try and put up on Patreon first. So that's one reason to have a look over there. Okay, greetings to Susan Byrne. Yeah, you missed me again. Actually, these streams I always used to plan. I was starting at 8 o'clock, but as I said, in order to do an open lines, I do want to do one earlier in the week, where I say do maybe at 7, but we'll see. Okay. Right. Thanks for taking the time to tune in this evening. We'll see what's filling the content on Sunday night. I hope you can make it then, about 10 PM UK time, where we'll be going on, I call that one Total Mainstream Annihilation. I guess it means we will tackle anything you guys suggest. Right, you can't shy away, no matter how vile their stories may be or how much it may emotionally move people. You shouldn't be, never hold off from calling them out as the deceivers they are. Have a wonderful Sabbath day, and remember, just have a rest from Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Sunday, Saturday. You will feel much better if it come Monday morning, when most people are waking up and feel absolutely terrible.
not if you go to Sabbath Day, I think. It is a wonderful